Welcome back to the bar. Another
Glad to be
episode.
here.
He doesn't know what we're talking about.
Work together, we play together.
So join us.
Let's have a great time.
There's all these masterminds all over Facebook. And the other day you came to me and you said, can you believe somebody had said something about, would you take a listing that is
4 hours away.
4 hours away? So look, people, I'm not taking a listing that is out of the scope of what I know. So if I don't know the market area like the back of my hand, if I don't know your area, if you've got radon gas, for example, I know nothing about radon gas. I'm not coming to your house and listing it. I'm not listing in Richmond or Northern Virginia. I hear agents all the time saying I'm listing houses in Northern Virginia. I'm not listing houses where I don't know the market. For example, well, there's a lot of examples, so I just won't go into them. So if somebody called me up and said, I got a listing 4 hours away, but it's in Virginia. Betsy,
Right.
Will you take it? What would we do?
We would not do that. You see, we're licensed in Virginia, so we can sell a house in Virginia. We can list any house in the state of Virginia. But you know what? We have a code of ethics. We're going to do what's right. And even without the code of ethics, we're going to do what's right for the client. And what that means is, are we the best person to do the best job for the client? And if we don't know the intricacies of the market, and for a seller, that means, do we know the best things to market their house and all of the things that we're going to need to help them? And for a buyer, do we know all the things like the school districts and all the things about the different inspection things for that specific market? If we don't know that, here's the great thing. We know great agents, not just all over the state, but all over the country. So what we're going to do, we're going to say, hey, who is the Betsy and Alan in that market? Who do we know that we network with? Because we network with other top agents.
The absolute top agents. We are gone. Everybody, all y'all know we're gone all the time, and y'all think we vacation all the time. But no, we're with the top agents in the country 7 weeks out of the year.
We go to masterminds where we share what we do, they share what they do, and that's how we learn things. Because you know what? If we're only doing what other agents in our market are doing, we're always following.
Or if we're always doing the same every single solitary year and not growing, we're not doing what's best for you.
So what we do is we go find out what people do in other parts of the country, and they find out what we do in our part of the country, and we share. Only the top people share, though. Because you know what? Everybody, all the lower people, they're scared. They operate out of fear. The people at the top, we share everything. We call it R&D, which really means
Rip off and duplicating?
Rip off and duplicate. We go in, we take it, and we share because we're not in the same market, and we don't have a fear of the other agents. And so by doing that, we get to know each other, we network, and we mastermind. And we don't just do it when we're there traveling. We do it. We have Zoom calls that we get together every month, and we share.
Or every week, depending on.
Every week. And we share those things, and we talk about what we're doing and what's working and what's not, and how do we do it better. And by doing that, we build relationships so when you call us and you say, hey, I'm getting transferred from Norfolk to Washington, D.C., guess what? I'm not worried about it. I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to put you together. Betsy's going to put you with somebody in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. I mean, we know the best people absolutely everywhere there are. And I mean, I know them personally. Some of them are my best friends. And, what cracks me up is when somebody says, the top 5 people who you hang out with, my top 5 people aren't here. My top 5 people are out of this market. I mean, my best friend is 7'2" and in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, seriously, not even in this market. I mean, he's not here,
Right. And when we say that, we're really, I got held up at a layover in Atlanta, and he came and picked me up and took me to lunch so I didn't have to hang out in the airport.
Him and Ryan. Yep.
So, I mean, that is how this works. I mean, this is just
our daughter knows him. I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, this is a network of what we do so that we don't just do the best for our clients here, we can do the best for our clients in other parts of the country.
But what cracks us up is this: somebody actually came on there and said that they would take the listing.
Yeah.
I'm like, you would take a listing 4 hours away.
And then somebody goes, I'd take it 8 hours away. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I was driving to my mom's house in Woodard's Mill, and I saw a sign out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of this company before. And I pulled it up, and I can't remember, they were out of DC, which in our market during COVID, there were DC people like crazy listing in our market. And I said to him, this is freaking crazy. What is going on? This is absolutely absurd. I worked with an agent one time on a listing, crook, literally a crook, because she was. And to an old man, it was literally elder abuse. Right. Who I ended up having to do most of the representation, and he knew it. I had to get him moved last minute because it was just a mess. It was because he used an agent out of DC. He was buying a house in DC, and she said, oh, I can represent you on your sale. I charged him the most insane amount of money I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen anything like it. I was like, everything, I about fell out. But it was crazy. So, just insane. But people get taken advantage of. But this, I see them all the time where I'm like, you don't know, we have septic in my mom's neighborhood. How many people know septic from other markets?
The first thing the other agent said was, well, I've never done a transaction with the septic system. And we're like, of course you haven't. You're in the city. You've never seen it before. And so, how are they representing their client?
Right.
And they don't even have a broker that can give them advice because their broker's never seen it before.
I'm just like, this is insane. Don't represent somebody who you don't know anything about a house. It's just, it's not ethical.
Yeah, it's
a code of ethics violation.
It is. If you're a realtor, it's a code of ethics violation. And if you're not a realtor, it's still not the right thing to do.
I mean, he's got that little paragraph memorized, but
Code of Ethics 11-1. I know it. So
violation. So just remember this when you're starting to take listings. I mean, people say that to me all the time. They're like, that's my market. And I'm like, but is it really? I mean, people just remember. I mean, we've got a lot of bridges around here and stuff. I mean, it gets a little more complicated here, so.
And also, like we do refer people in different markets. Another thing, we see people that refer people in different markets. Sometimes it's what we call fan clubbing. Okay. Just because somebody might work for the same franchise or same brand that you do, don't recommend somebody if you don't know them or don't know what they do. We see that somebody will just recommend somebody in their market because they work for the same brand. They don't know them or they don't know if that's really their market. Recently I saw one and somebody was just blindly recommending somebody for a specific city, and that person had never even sold a house in that city.
Right, that's always cracks me up.
They're
the best.
They're a rock star in the city. No, they've never sold a house in that city. They might be one city over, but they've never sold one, and they're not a rock star there. They haven't sold one.
Yeah.
So, we just want you to be aware that we truly can help you. We're going we back who we recommend. We put our name behind it. We know the people we recommend. And we really pride that. We've done over 100 agent-to-agent referrals to people we know. We want to keep contact with our clients. We want to take care of them. We're going to do the best we can, and we think that's important.
Yep.
Anything else?
Nope.
See you next time at the bar.